Hi friends, it's officially September, which means in my mind it is fall, even though it is 100 degrees here in Connecticut. So I am going to give you my fall TBR from my car. I hope that you can't hear my AC, but there's better lighting in my car, so that's where I decided to do this. Maybe it'll be a thing. If you see me looking down, I'm reading off of my notes. So I'm basically just going to tell you what I am planning on reading in September, October, November. Okay, so starting off, I am actually currently reading Fraternity by Andy Mientis, something like that. I'm really bad at last names, so Fraternity, and I'm already like halfway through this book, and so far it's like really interesting and not what I thought it was going to be. This is the perfect like September, October book because it takes place in the fall at a all-boys boarding school in Massachusetts, so it's got like the perfect like New England fall vibes, but also it's more like occultish than I thought it was going to be, so it's also good for like October if you like a spooky book for like Halloween time. Basically, there are 3 characters that like speak, like each chapter is a different character talking, and the voices of the characters are so unique and the writing style is different for each one of them, and it's just really refreshing to read. It's just very entertaining. What else can I say? This book came out in 2022, so it is like a year old or so, and it has a secret gay society in it, and they do like dark black magic stuff, and it's just really interesting, and I haven't really heard anyone talk about it, so I'm really glad that I decided to pick it up, and I'm really enjoying it. So that is the first book that I'm going to finish in September. And then the next book that I'm thinking about reading, I'm going to read it on my Kindle, is Charming as a Verb by Ben Philippe, which this book came out in 2020, so it's a little bit older. It also takes place at a like school, I don't think it's a boarding school, but it's like a prestigious academy in the city, and in September I like to read like school-ish, like boarding school, like stories like that. I just think that's good for September. It has like a cute enemies to lovers romance, which isn't usually my preferred trope, but I think it sounds cute in this story because it's about a girl who blackmails a boy into like helping her change her image at school. And like the cover looks so cute. I'll put a picture of it here since I don't have it. I don't know, it looks like it would be cute. And I don't think that I've read any of his other books, but I know that he has a few really popular ones. Yeah, so those are the 2 books that I'm reading in September. I'm already like almost done with Fraternity, so I'll probably read more, or maybe I won't like Charming as a Verb and I won't read that one. We'll see. And then for October, that's when I like to read the spooky scary books, and I hate spooky scary, so it's more like fun romance spooky twist books, right? So the first book I am planning on reading is 16 Souls, which I think was like super big on Book Talk, but I'm not entirely sure. This book I think came out last year, but I'm also confused about that because I think it might be, and don't take my word for this, I think it might be like a British author, so it came out in England first and now it's here. Something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. 16 Souls by Rosie Talbot. This book looks so cute. It's about a boy who can see ghosts and talk to ghosts, so all his friends are ghosts, and they like start to disappear. The ghosts like go missing, right? So he has to figure out why they're disappearing. And there's also like a little romance between the 2 ghost talking, seeing friends, right? So I thought that was really good for October, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. I actually asked my librarian to purchase this, and I've been literally waiting for forever for it to come in, and it finally came in like in August, and I said, okay, I have to save it for October though because it's spooky season. Have you read that one? Did you like it? I'm really looking forward to it. And then the next book on my list that is my library receipt. The next book on my list is Vampires, Hearts, and Other Dead Things by Margie Fuston, something like that. This cover is also super adorable. I just love all the colors in it. So this book came out in 2021, so it's a little older, and I remember getting this at the library, like when it, like not like checking it out. I remember like because I work at the library. I remember getting this at the library and I wanted to check it out and read it, but I did not have the time. So I'm glad that I have put it on my list this year, and I will finish it and I will read it. So this book is about a girl named Victoria whose father is dying. I think he has cancer, and her dad are like obsessed with like occult stuff, so like vampires and werewolves and things like that. So she can't really deal with losing her father, so she and her best friend go to New Orleans to like track down a vampire to help save her father. I imagine in my mind I'm thinking that she has to become a vampire in order to like turn her father into a vampire to make him immortal. That's my theory of what's going to happen in this book, but I literally have no idea. So she meets who I presume to be a vampire, and he basically makes her like do all these little like things to prove that she can live forever and that she's willing to live forever. So it sounds really like cute and adventurous, but also there's like a sad part of the story where she's like grieving her father who's dying, right? But vampires are spooky for October, so that is on my list. And then I threw this one on there, Blackwater, and this is a quick one because it is a graphic novel. This is by Jeanette Arroyo and Ren Graham, and this book came out in 2022, so last year. It is, like I said, a graphic novel, and it is about, let's see, ghosts, werewolves, and high school drama is what I wrote in my notes. And it has a queer romance, which I don't know what representation is in this book. I just know that it is a queer romance. And it takes place in a haunted town in Maine, which is super exciting. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. I think it should be cute. I like the illustrations inside look nice just by looking through it there. And then we're moving on to November, which is my birthday month, right? So I have 2 books planned for November, which I have pre-ordered because they don't come out until October of this year. But I'm going to tell you about them, and I will put their pictures here so you know what they look like. The first book, I'm very excited about these, by the way. The first book is Charming Young Man by Elliot Schrafer, something like that. And this book comes out in October of this year, 2023. And it is about a French pianist who is like trying to find the balance between like high society in France and like his life in the countryside that he like grew up with, right? Also, he might be in love with his best friend, and he's not sure about that. It's really like a coming of age story, I think. But it takes place in 1890s Paris, which is like, you couldn't have written a better book for me, right? I love that. That's like perfect. 1890s Paris, high society, French pianist, like that all just sounds so perfect, and I'm so excited to read that. And then the next book is By Any Other Name by Aaron Cotter, which I will put a picture here so you know what it looks like. I did pre-order that one too, and that one comes out in October as well of this year, 2023. This book takes place in 1593 London, which I think is very interesting. I think that's a unique place to put a story like this. I have really gotten into historical fiction lately, especially if there's like a romance situation going on, but I don't think I've read anything from like the 1500s or like the late 1500s. Usually it's like I'm super into like Victorian era stuff. From what I've read, that's what I like. So I'm looking forward to reading that and seeing if it's like a cool setting, right? So it also is very Shakespearean. There's like the main actor, like main character is an actor, and he like does Shakespeare shows or something like that. So it is a murder mystery. Someone is murdered, and then the actor, who's kind of like down on his luck, he's like a poor humble actor, he has to work alongside an English lord, cool, to figure out who murdered like his boss or something, like his acting coach or something like that. So historical London, English lords, murder mystery, queer romance, like that all sounds so perfect, and I'm super looking forward to reading that. And then, so those are the books I'm reading in November. Just the 2, maybe I'll get to more, maybe I'll hate both of those even though they sound perfect, we'll see. However, I do want to mention a book that I have already read that comes out in November of this year. It is called Ren Martin Ruins It All. I don't have it because it's not out yet. I'll put a picture here. I did pre-order it as soon as I finished reading the advanced reader's copy. I went and pre-ordered my own copy because I loved it so, so, so much. So Ren Martin Ruins It All, which is by Amanda Dewitt, something like that. And this book comes out on November 7th of this year, 2023. And it is the perfect story. It's got beautiful characters. It's just got like an interesting plot, and the characters like deal with so many relatable things. And honestly, it was just 5 stars. And I don't want to like spoil anything, but there's like okay, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil it. I just love the characters, and the main character is just so funny, and his voice is so unique, and he's asexual, which is super fun to read about because he's asexual and not aromantic, which I think is kind of like a rare representation from my experience in at least YA books, because that's what I read. So yeah, it's really cool to read about his asexuality. However, he does have crushes, right? That's cool. I like that. So those are all of the books that I am planning on reading this fall. I'd love to know what you're going to read this fall. Anything cozy or spooky? Have you read any of these books that I am planning on reading? And did you like them? Maybe you hated them, and you can let me know. That's about it. I think that I am done now. Okay, bye.